FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 criminal counts in the FTX fraud trial. He's facing more than 100 years in prison. The verdict coming in right before 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And Kate Rooney was there in the room where it happened.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, Andrew. So the U.S. attorney called this one of the biggest financial frauds in American history. The verdict coming almost exactly a year after his crypto company filed for bankruptcy. Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted across the board on 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy on lenders, investors, and customers. It was an emotional scene inside that courtroom last night. Bankman-Fried's father burying his head in his hands. His mother was crying as that verdict was read. The defendant, Bankman-Fried, staring straight ahead, looking pretty stoic during all of this. The jury came back with a lightning-fast verdict. They started deliberating around 3 p.m., broke for dinner at 6 p.m., The verdict came in around 7:45 last night. In a news conference, guys, Damian Williams, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, delivering some brief remarks. Here's what he said.
Cryptocurrency industry might be new. The players like Sam Bankman-Fried might be new. But this kind of fraud, this kind of corruption is as old as time, and we have no patience for it.
Attorney General Merrick Garland saying that Sam Bankman-Fried thought he was above the law. Today's verdict proves he was wrong. This case should send a clear message to anyone who tries to hide their crimes behind a shiny new thing they claim no one else is smart enough to understand. In their month-long case, the prosecution called FTX a pyramid of deceit. They presented evidence showing Bankman-Fried knowingly stole customer money. The defense team saying Mr. Bankman-Fried maintains his innocence and will continue to vigorously fight the charges against him. No official word on an appeal, guys, but that's what we do expect on all this.
Wow. We said, you asked how quickly. I think you and both of us said quick. We thought quick.
What they call in for pizza? I mean, they barely, ate. That was.
Yeah, they took an hour.
So that was 3 hours, including dinner.
Including dinner.
And dessert.
There were some people speculating that they had a decision before dinner, but they wanted the free dinner, and then
right.
had to.
That's typically how
one more
it goes.
free dinner.
Yeah.
They did also get free Ubers home, but it was so fast. I mean, we were talking at 7:30 about. They had asked the judge for Post-its, highlighters,
right.
a copy of the testimony, and so we thought that they were obviously doing work back there, but asking for follow-up. So we thought this is absolutely going into Monday, and got really a surprise verdict around 7:45,
right.
and turned around really quickly.
Now, the most interesting piece of this, just real quick, because I know we have a guest who's going to help us with this. There's going to be the sentencing piece.
Yep.
But even before that, there was a moment where the judge says to the prosecution, are you still planning to bring effectively a second part of this case around the campaign finance issue, which would be something they would decide on in February?
Yeah.
Can you imagine them deciding to prosecute him on those counts as well? Do you say to yourself, he's already in prison for the rest of his life. We're good with that?
So this was a month-long trial. They had mountains of evidence where they did talk at certain points about some of the campaign finance violations, and they brought it up in the context of him lying to investors. It's in February. That's kind of when they have to make the decision. But they've got him for at least decades if they want.
Right.
So I would think that they would probably say, let's move on. I
did think it just might be fun to see all the people that benefited, because we've heard he gave it to both parties, but right. I think that's not exactly.
I think a lot of people are curious.
I think one party got a lot.
Oh, I think it was actually. I mean,
I know, but you've heard that no one gave more money to elect Joe Biden than this guy, right?
I have heard that argument made before, but I think that he was giving to all of these sides. Look, the whole thing is just a massive. My view of campaign finance is it's all one massive bribery scheme. So
right.
It's terrible.
Well, no.
Yeah, but lightning fast. I mean, it speaks to
a lot of bribery schemes happening that we now know, and we care about some, we don't care about others.